Jayadev Ranade's analysis is a lot because he really tracks what's happening in the Mandarin press. He tracks what the Chinese think tanks are saying. So, Mr. Ranade, let's start by you setting the context for why China on the 29th of August tried to open a new front on the south bank of the Pangong Lake. So far, the action was concentrated on the north bank. They've now come down south. What do you think they were trying to do? What are you making of China opening this new front at a time when 5 rounds of dialogue have happened between India and China, and the expectation was that China would seek disengagement, and they claimed that they wanted to pull back?
One thing is very clear, Rahul, that what they were doing is stringing us along. They had no intention of pulling back. And in fact, this latest action indicates that very clearly. But this latest action is backed up by a couple of other things. Firstly, the fact that they were on the southern bank, which has been stated in our Ministry of Defense statement also, means that they have tried to take a fresh initiative. Now, obviously, they had a larger agenda in mind when they came to all these points, and I think they're trying to see how best they can push it. Thirdly, the Chinese have made plans for a permanent location and permanent development of the Pangong Lake as an international spot, tourist spot, and they want to develop that. Now, when they have made such plans, obviously they have an interest in getting all this area with them. Here, I would like to mention also that the Western Theatre Command statements this time are quite tough. In fact, it talks about India having violated the LAC again. And the terms used this time to describe the various locations are Chinese terms, not the usual terms that we all use. Again, the fact that it was planned is apparent from the fact that the aircraft, J-20 aircraft which China has brought in, and which incidentally they, since late last year, reprioritized the J-20s for the Western Theatre Command. Otherwise, the Western Theatre Command was the last on the list. They raised it last year to make it on par with the Eastern Theatre Command. So there is one squadron already deployed in the Western Theatre Command.
Okay. Colonel Ajay Shukla, what's your reading? You have your own sources. You're speaking to people in the Northern Army Command. What can you tell us first about what you think really went down on the 29th and the 30th of August?
Well, the Chinese have at all stages, starting from the time that they entered in the end of May or beginning of June, they have come with the intention of staying and capturing key heights of redefining the line of actual control in a manner that is tactically suitable to them, in which they occupy all the dominating heights, the heights from which you get observation, the heights that you get fire from, and the action against Helmet Top and Black Top that took place on the 30th morning, early morning, was part of this. They've been stringing us along, as Jayadev quite accurately said, with dialogue and negotiation. But on the ground, their actions have been the actions of somebody who's come to stay and very purposefully redefine the line of actual control to suit them. It's just that this time there was, for the first time that I've seen since this incursion started, there was a retaliatory action from the Indian side. The details of that I would rather not give on television, but it has sent a message to the Chinese. There is a clear understanding now that the game has changed, so to speak. The Indian sort of subservience and dialogue process and attempting to solve the problem through diplomacy will now be replaced by a certain set of purposeful action from the Indian side. So that's where we stand right now, Rahul, in my estimation.
You know, it's interesting that when India takes a knock, Colonel Shukla, you want to give all those details, and then when India goes and mounts an operation and takes action against Chinese forces, you're saying this is something we shouldn't be discussing at all or talking about. But
the military, that you give up enemy positions and give out details of your own, endangers your own force. The television anchor you might mind.
Okay.